show you. Okay, I'm going to show you one way of doing things, okay? But each question can be done in different ways. If I am at it and it doesn't take time, then I will do it in different ways as well. If I think it takes time, then I'll just tell you how you do it differently and then we move on. Okay. Very basic, okay? The moment I tell you create a program, so far we don't know about functions and procedures. We do know that we have to do this. Okay, declare, begin, and end. Again, I'm not gonna explain anything that's not a task, okay? I'm assuming that you guys know this. Okay, using appropriate data type, write an anonymous block to show product name, category, price, cost, and profit for product ID 112. Okay, one way to do this is to say, I'm going to do it the way the question wants you to do. Yeah, that is for each of those variables, you need to define a variable. Okay, so name, category, cost, profit. Okay, just watch what I'm doing. I'm just going to make this P category, P price, because we don't want to get anonymous, ambiguous things. Okay, profit is not there. So product, what is the data type of a product category? Now, the question wants you to learn this, to learn how to identify the data type. Now, I don't know the category, but I know it's coming from the product table. So I'm going to say, go to the product table. Product dot, go to the category column, category, and give me the type, okay? And I'm gonna repeat this for all the other ones, okay? And right there, okay? Now I'm gonna make this P name. I will start changing the variables. This is a name, this is the price, and this is the cost. What about the profit? Since we know the profit is something from the cost and the price, so we can take one of those two, okay? Or you can just define it as an integer, or don't define it, just do the calculation later. I'll show you what I mean, okay? So these are all variables. Now, what I need to do is I need to first read this from my query. So I'm gonna say select, this is still annoying, the thingy, select. I'm gonna select name, category, price, cost. We don't have a profit, but you could define it here if you want, yeah? So the profit would be price minus cost, okay? From products. Do I have a condition? Yes, because I'm looking for this guy only. Where PID equal 11112. Okay, let's make sure our query is running properly before I do anything else. Okay, now what I want to do is those variables that I have selected, I want to save them into this variables. Yeah, so select those into, now I list my variables, P name. So the name goes to the P name. I'm gonna put this here actually. Why did it go there? Sorry, I'm a little picky for those who attend my lab. Into P name, P category, P price, P cost, and profit. Okay, now we have the values saved into this. Okay, and now we can access them. Okay. Here, what I will do, you can do it two different ways, but this is what I usually do. I create a variable called message with whatever data size. And say message, because I like the pipe better than the percentage. I need to count that. I don't need to count this. Now we follow this format. I'm just going to copy the message. Okay. And I will replace the values with the data type. Now this guy here, I need to take that, right? And I called it p name, so I'm going to take that. Yeah, so I'm going to say, before I do this, I'm going to say p name, add to this. Now I don't need this. This is the category. So I'm going to close my quotes here, add those, and put here p category. That cost, this is another variable. So I'm going to close my quote, add the lines, and add p cost. Is sold for, again, I'm going to close this, add before I forget, add those, and I put here p price. Okay, now this is getting too long, so I'm going to cut the rest of it. Control, Command Z. What did I do? I'm just going to cut it from here and say message, colon equal message, and I add to it. So first I need to add the price. Then I add with a profit margin of, again, this is another variable, as simple as that. Okay, and this is just profit. Now I will raise my notice. I do this because it looks nicer. Okay, you could just do it in raise notice. Raise notice. What do I want to raise? As some message only with some variable, and that variable is message. Okay, now if I want to add a new line, which I usually do, /n, I need to add e to escape a special character. Okay, let's see if this will give me error. Hopefully not, so we can move on. Okay, ta-da! All right. Could you put all this in raise notice? Of course. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be an easy one, so I'm going to give you an alternative. You could do it here, but I don't like it that way. Okay, raise notice. You copy the same thing. I'm going to put the new line, /n. And then I'm going to copy this, put it here, and I'll show you how to change that. Okay, so here, instead of the variables, what you have is the percent. Okay, so this is a variable, that is another person. This is another variable, this is another, not dollar, person, not hash. Where did the person go? Then again, this is another variable, then another person, profit margin of another variable, that's another person, not here. Okay, then for as many number of percent I have, I'm gonna just copy that and put it right here. I'm hoping that being in a new line doesn't give me an error. Yeah, same thing. Okay, whichever you find more suitable, just do it. That's question one. Any questions about question one? Could you do it with a record data type? Yes, you could do that too. Could you do it with the raw data type? No, because I don't want the product ID. Remember, the raw data type selects everything, right? It selects the product ID, and I said I don't want that. Okay, so you could do it with the record type. With the record type, let me give you another alternative. you would actually do record option, okay? With the record type, you actually could say R is record. And then here you would, instead of selecting into each variable, copy that, record. Okay, instead of doing into each variable, you just do it into R. Okay, and here you do the same thing. And instead of having them like this, you need to say these are coming from your R. Yeah, so you would need to say R dot, R dot, R dot, dot, dot. I'm gonna comment this whole thing, okay? Because it might get a little confusing if I don't, and I don't want to select and run, okay? Whichever you do, up to you. Oh, I did something wrong. Has no field p name. Oh yeah, because they are not, you need to get the original, you get the original column name now. And then here maybe you say as profit. Okay, now it should be fine. Okay, so I show you 3 different ways to do the same thing. Okay, now this is the advantage of not just putting the solution file. No, you learn how to do things in different ways. If I put the solution file, it's just a solution file. You want to do task 3 first and then go to task 2, or you want to do task 2? Okay, no voices there. Okay, what I will do is I'm gonna remove all this because we don't need it, no? Because I don't want to Control X. But what I will do, I will save it somewhere here. Then maybe if I am nice at some point, I will provide you with it. If I'm not, then I'm sorry. I'm not a nice person. What to do? Task 2. Okay. So I have my guide right in front of me. Before I move on, do you guys have questions? I don't know if you raise your hand, would it come here, or do I have to put it in a way that I can see everyone? Anyways, if you have questions, just talk, okay? Write an anonymous block. That's anonymous block. How do we do the first thing we hear when we hear anonymous block? Declare, begin, end. Okay. That receives a product category from a cursor. Okay, that means I have a cursor. Let's call it C. Okay, this C is the cursor. Okay, now this cursor is receiving a product category, right? Let's say I don't know how to do that. Then I come here and I say, is there a way I can get, oh, good, I found it. Okay, this is a cursor that takes an argument. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, okay? And then let's see if there is an example actually that I can take advantage of. Don't tell me I didn't give you example on this. That would be impossible actually. Okay, forget it. Let's go back to the fact that I know everything. Here. Okay. So here is an example where a cursor is receiving something, okay? So if I am a lazy person, I'm just gonna copy this and bring it here. And then I know what to change exactly. What is it that this cursor receiving? It's not receiving salesman department, it's receiving product category. So product category means I need to go to products, and then I need to go to category. Maybe I will give it a better name, like cat, okay? For select, what are we getting? Receive the product for a cursor at odd numbers. You could just select those two, no? Name and price. So here I'm selecting name and price. Okay. My table should be product. Why I keep doing the same mistake? And the column I want to check is not department, it's category. The value I want to check is this one, cat. Okay, this is if you do not know, like you're starting to code and you do not know what to do. Yeah, that's a very good starting point. Get the example, understand it, and know what to change. Okay, now if you do know, I'm gonna cut this out. Okay, I'm gonna say we have this C, which is a cursor. Yeah, I know how to give my cursor a parameter, and this parameter I'm gonna call it cat, and I know it comes from, it's gonna be for the products dot category dot type. Okay, and for the cursor it always has to be for something, so I'm gonna write for, and then my select statement, which is select. What am I selecting? Name and price. Name, price. Where they are coming from? They are coming from products. Do I have a condition? Yes. What's the condition? That the category must be the value that is passed to me by the cursor. In this case is cat. There is no difference between this and writing, let's say, electronics. Oh no, they are not caps. Electronics. There is no difference, okay? The only difference is, I didn't spell it properly. The only difference is, let's make this TV. The only difference is when I write my query, I don't know what category will I be looking for, right? So I'm gonna give it a variable name, and that variable name is the one that will be given to me by the cursor. Okay, this is done. Since I have a cursor, I will always need a record so I can read from it, right? So you define a cursor, immediately define a record. Okay, so this R is a record. Okay, what else? We got it this far. So I want to see if something exists or not. So I'm gonna declare another variable and call it exists. Okay, and this one I'm gonna make it true, false, or yes, no, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna make it integer. I'm gonna make it integer. Okay, integer column equal. I'm gonna make it 0, assuming that it doesn't exist. Okay, I have some messages to write, so I'm gonna define my variable message, varchar, I don't know, 500. And I'm gonna initialize that to a new line. Okay, I do this as a practice. Okay, like I like things to be nice and informative, but if you don't want to do it this way, that's up to you. These are little details that shows how interested you are. And I'm gonna say, yeah, we don't want to say anything here. Okay, it's just a new line. Okay, what is my program doing? My program needs to go to the odd number. Now, I do not know if I do this for this R in this C, I'm going to every single row, yeah? I'm fetching every single row, but the question wants you to fetch only what you want to read. So I cannot do it with this. Okay, if you want to fetch only what you need, again, if you do not know how to do that, you come here and say, how can I have more flexibility over what I learned? If you want more control, do this. Okay, so I have to use open fetch close. And let's do that. Let's just start with open fetch close. Yeah. What am I opening? You open this C and you're closing. Let's not put the parentheses now. This C. Okay. We'll come back to this. Now, I know that this guy needs some value. So I'm going to add that here. This value would be, for example, TV. Okay. Now, how do I work around with fetch? I will come here and I say, I have a relative n that tells me go to the nth row. Okay, so I can go to the odd row directly. How can I do that? Like now, it's nothing to do with databases. This is a programming, this is a logic. I say, what about creating an index? Okay, and this is an integer, and this index is my n, yeah? And I'm gonna say this is initially 1, which is an odd number, right? And I say fetch. You go back here and you look at it, okay? If you don't know how to do it, but I know, so I'm gonna say fetch relative. Let's say fetch relative n. My n is this. Fetch relative n from my cursor, which is this, into my record, which is this. Okay, now this will give me what? Only the first one. Okay, let's have a look. Raise, I'm gonna make it a message, that's okay. Message colon equal message, and I'm gonna say name equal this r dot name, and add to that, I'm gonna put a space here or maybe some lines and say, what else? Cost, price, what did I want? Price, price equal, and then here I put this. Again, I'm not explaining what I'm doing right now because it's in the recording. If you want to access a column that is stored in a record, you have to put the record name dot the column name. The column name is the same thing you selected, okay? Price. And then we're gonna say raise notice. This is how I code, okay? You don't have to do the whole thing at once. Just do it one by one. Raise notice. There is a message, and that message is this. And I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna run this and see if I get error. There are a lot of dollar signs. Money, money, money. Okay. Too many parameters in, oops. Close this. What happened? I'm not sure if that's the problem. That could be.
And the close statement, there's an S missing, this underscore C.
Sorry?
And the close
The
statement,
S is
yeah.
missing. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we got it for 1. Now I need to move to the next one. Okay. How can I make this be 3? Because I want the odd numbers. Just logic, okay? How can I make this from 1 to 3 and then from 3 to 5 and then from 5 to 7? How can I do that? Come on, guys. You know how to do that? Okay. All I need to say is index, column equal, index plus 2. No, if I go 2 at a time, I'm visiting only the odd numbers. No. Now, if I want this to loop, then I need to add a loop. So I'm going to have a loop. Here we go. Okay, end loop. And loop. Okay, now we know that this message should not be here, should come at the end. Otherwise, it will look very ugly. You could leave it, and then when it looks ugly, take it out. Okay, but I know it looks ugly, and I don't like ugly messages. Okay, then I put it here, and then maybe here I can add a new line so things doesn't get added up. Okay. So that would be /n, and then I have a slash, that means I need to add an E. Okay, so far what we did is we fetched, we know we're gonna go to the next odd number, we're gonna take the message. There is one thing I still need to do, is when do I get out of this? Right? So when you are in a loop, you need to always add a statement that takes you out of it. And how do we get out of a fetch close loop? Exit when not found. Okay. Can I pick on any errors? There are again other ways to do the same thing. Okay. This is something I added yesterday, but basically if you do TV, you get the first one. Okay, so far we got the question, go to the odd numbers and do this, okay? Is there another way to do this? Yes, one very smart student did this. Did this instead. Yeah, said it's fetch the next. Okay, you can do fetch next. I'm doing this because it's a very good exercise. Instead of saying fetch relative, I'm gonna say fetch next because I know next is the first one, right? I'm gonna copy that same thing here. I'm gonna exit when I did not find it. Now I know that if I move to the next one and then fetch next, it's actually skipping one row, right? If I say move next from this C, now I am in the second row, but when I say next, it goes to the third row. Smart, no? Very smart. I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Who can pick up what did I do wrong? Loop, loop, fetch, exit, this C into this R. Fetch next from this, exit when not found. There is nothing wrong. Why isn't it giving me anything? Because me, stupid. Sorry, I should not call myself like that in a recording. Okay, who talks to themselves when they code? I talk to myself when I code. It's because I'm not creating the message, no? Okay, now it shows me. Okay, now whichever you want, you pick that one. Okay, am I done? No, because it say if nothing is found, I need this message. I don't need these messages. That means now I need to find out when I am inside and I can fetch. Yeah, if I can fetch, it means I found something, right? So here I would say exist, yeah, colon equal anything, 1. Yeah, and when I'm outside of the loop, I say, does it exist or not? If exist is equal 1, sorry, 2, then, of course, I need to say end if, okay, the first thing. If is 1, sorry, if it's, yeah, that's okay. If it's 1, that means we did not find anything, right? Then message colon equal no data found, okay, whatever I say there. Else I don't need an else actually. Okay. So if I raise my notice now, because else is the else, yeah, you don't need to worry about it. If this is this, then I will rewrite my message, okay? If it's 1, then do that. Okay, let's do whatever now. And it should give me an error. What happened?
You initialized exit to 0, but then you said if exist equals 1.
Thank you. Okay, that's what happened. Okay. Done. You see how I solved the question? I didn't overwhelm myself with the entire question. I just did it part by part. Okay, that's how you do it. Select, copy. Thank you for pointing out the mistake. I always do those little teeny tiny spelling and typos. Okay, any questions before I move on? I'm gonna remove this if you guys have no questions. Let me quickly have a look at chat. Please do, yeah, that's for the earlier question. You can use, I don't think you can use percentage for mode. I'm not sure, I've never used it, but yeah, okay. Try it, maybe it works. In Python, it works. So you can do that too. There are many different ways, at least 10 different ways to do the same thing. It's completely up to you how you do it. No questions? Can I move on to the third one? Third one is very easy. Third one is just a set of else-if statements. No questions because I remove it now because I don't want to select and run.
Professor?
Yes.
Can you put phone in the category just to see what the output be?
Do we have a phone? If there is at least one thing, it will come, no? It should be one thing because we don't have too many phones. I could do that. Be careful, this is case sensitive, okay? If you're not getting anything, maybe it's because it's case sensitive. So it's more. Is this incorrect? Or I don't know the row numbers, okay? But we can double check. You want to double check? If you doubt my skills, which is okay. Select star from products where category equal category equal what? Phone, no? So let's keep this in mind. 14, 22, and 50, okay? And let's see if they are at the odd numbers. 14, that's the 22. Did it jump somewhere? 14, 22. There was something else, right? Now keep in mind that it reads, it doesn't always read in the same order, right? To make sure it's the same thing, what I could do is I could say order by PI. Okay. And then do the same thing here to make sure we get the same answer. Order by PID. Okay, so let's run this now first. No, it was correct actually. Right, so but order by. If it's not the same, it's because you don't know how the rows are getting fetched. Okay, we will cover that when we do indexing, which is which I'm preparing the note for right now actually. Order by PID, then you get the exact same row orders and then you would know. So this, and this, okay, correct. Correcto. So I'm gonna put that test there. That's not that thing to put. I'm gonna cut that out. Did we do that already? We do it again. And put it here. Okay, and then we move on to the next one. Let's save this before I forget, actually. Save it on desktop, and this is Lab2 solution recording. Again, most likely I will not be sharing this, but just for my own reference, and if somebody else wants to learn it from the faculty. Question 3 is very easy. Yeah, you want me to skip it or shall we do it? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Okay. Write anonymous block. Okay. Again, write anonymous block means do color declare again and dollar. According to quantity sold and profit generated by each product. Again, I'm not gonna move on, okay? Let's write the query that gives us the quantity sold and the profit generated by each product. Let's get that query and then select. That means I need the sum of quantity, yeah? Then I need to get profit generated would be quantity, would be price minus cost, right? And this should be multiplied by, the quantity, no? Quantity, okay? Let's give each of this a name as Q, as profit. I'm just gonna make it P to, okay, profit, Q and T, okay? And this would be from, of course, I need product for the price, product. I'm not gonna explain how to write query, okay? Product, madre mia, product. But then the quantity comes from the order table. You learn in next 2 weeks from now that it's better not to use a word condition. So product P, join orders O on O.PID equal P.PID. Since I have an aggregate function in my statements, I need a group by statement. So group by, we're calculating this for what? For whom? For the product. How can I identify my product with the PID? Okay, since this will say it's ambiguous, I'm gonna say O.PID and I'm gonna put O.PID here as well. Okay, so I got the ID, the sum of the quantity and the profit. I join them to get all the data I need. I group them by because I need this per product. Let's run that select statement first. Make sure it's running. From products. Yeah, this is the only table with an S. So usually it's not a good practice. Price minus cost. Sorry, P dot. Let's see if that's the problem. P dot. I should have picked on this one as well, because we have we called it something. P dot, or not P dot, O dot, sorry. And this one is O dot. Now it should be fine. Okay. Oi. Okay. Parenthesis is missing. That's the problem. I actually do not need this whole thing. So what am I doing exactly with all these parentheses? Again, price minus cost. Who knows what am I doing? I need to sum them, no? It's a total profit. Now what?
There's one more pattern missing after sum, right after sum.
One parenthesis?
Yeah, right after sum.
Oh yeah,
before
I
period
need one
P5.
more here. True. Still. It's here. Select O.PID. Let's read the message. O does not exist. What do you mean? Right here. Don't you see it? I don't know what was wrong. It was not seeing. Maybe I put 0 instead of O. I do that sometimes. Okay, we got our query running. Now what do we want to do with this? We want to save it in a cursor, right? So this C is for this. Okay. What else do I need? Now it's a set of else if statement. Now it says list the products here, list the products here, list the products here. So what I would do to make my life easy is to create one variable for each of these lists. Okay, so I'm gonna say message 1 is varchar I don't 300. Message 2 is varchar. Gonna put them. It might give us it's too short or too long. Yeah, so we're gonna come and change this later. And I'm gonna create one for the main message. Okay, main message is varchar, and it should be at least the sum of those. I'm gonna make it 1000. Okay. So far we're good. Now what I need to do is check some conditions. So I'm gonna look for this R. Did I create this R? No, we said the moment you create the C, go ahead and create the R. This R is record, so you don't forget. This R in this C loop and loop. Okay, now here we check if this R, this is gonna be a lot of typing, so keep an eye on my spelling, okay? If this R dot quantity, what does it say? If quantity is 3 or less, is less equal 3, and because there is another condition, profit is below 100, so this R dot profit. You see, I started with a mistake. QNT, no? I called it QNT. Is less than 800? What was it? Below 800. Then I have if I would do and if before I forget. And I'm gonna make my life easy and say raise because I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. Raise notice condition 1. Okay. And then if, then I'm gonna copy this. Not if, actually. If quantity, if profit is about 1000, about 1100, and quantity is 4 or more, so greater equal 4. This is condition 2, and anything else there will be condition 3. else raise notice condition 3. Okay, let's just make sure this part is working, and then the rest is just if you want, you could print the quantity and the profit to make sure you're checking the conditions right, but let's just put that. Yeah, so we have, this is working. Okay, so all we need to do is here, right, get what? I need to add this product into message 1. Okay, so because now I know this product's gonna go here. Okay, or if you want to call it condition 1, condition 2, condition 1, so it's easier to connect to condition 2, and then this is condition 3, and this is just the message. Okay, so condition 1 would be, now since I want to add one to another, I have to initialize it to empty. Okay, if you want to know what happens if you don't do that, do it. You want to see what happens if I don't do that, or you try it yourself later? It will give you an empty. Yeah, it will never add, but you can try that for yourself. Okay, so condition 1 colon equal condition 1. What am I adding to this boy? We want to add the product name only. Yeah, so I'm gonna add this r dot name. We need to change something here because I do not need the ID. I need p dot name, and here I have to group by p dot name. You could do selecting too if you want. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get the name and then add a new line, okay? Because it says listed, it doesn't say, or you can add a comma if you want. I'm gonna add a new line, okay? And then it's a new line, I need to add this. Okay, then I do the same thing here, but this time it's condition 2. You see the code was very easy. And this is condition 2. And I do the same thing here, and this time this is condition 3, and this is condition 3. Now, before we do anything, let's just make sure, raise notice, we're doing it right. So 1%, 2%, 3%, and I'm gonna put here condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. Okay, and let's make it a little pretty and add /n, and then here /n. And let's make sure we catch all condition. Where is that? Here, condition. Let's make sure that's working. So Mac Pro, Samsung, Mac Pro. Oh, it's because I am inside the loop. So that means I need to take this baby outside of my loop after I finish everything. Now, condition 1 is giving me those, 2, 3. Okay, fantastic. All I need to do now is to add the other message, no? This baby message. We need to sell this product at lower price. So that means the initialization would be here, okay? So condition 1 is we need to sell this at lower profit. I'm gonna add that one here. /n, give me that, and then an E. And then another /n at the end, okay? This guy says if profit is about, this is the message. I'm just gonna copy that message. I'm gonna put it here, /n. And then this is a message again. And that one is, we do not need to change anything. And then /n, okay? Pretty much it. And then the total message, if you want to do it, yeah, if you don't want to do it, this will do just fine. No, if you want to do it, you concatenate all of them to that. Okay. We don't need that anymore. That looks better. What happened? I did something wrong. Who knows which one? Condition 1 is always false because there is no product that makes less than 800 in profit. Ah, no, I checked. There were. There isn't. I did not know that. Okay, so the logic is right. So let's make this one. You can play around with this a little bit maybe. Okay. And get something. No, it's not that. Look, we have something less than 1,100. Maybe the quantity is not right. Okay, so you sure that's the problem? Because I don't want to give you a wrong code. In mine, there were some. Anyways, if I believe you, who told me? Jawad, I believe you. Yeah, you, I believe you. That's okay. Okay, so that's how you do it. So this question was easy. It's just a matter of doing it step by step so you don't run into too many errors at once. And I hope you guys getting a hint on how to write code. Well, you can do this with any language, but specifically with this is to manage the errors by doing it part by part instead of doing the whole thing. Okay. Any questions here? This is easy. Not a very complicated question, just to see if you know how to do your else if statements right. This is a little tricky now, okay? And then last one is even trickier. And I will tell you what the trick is. If you guys want a 5 minutes break and then we come back, or you're okay? You want to finish it off? Okay, let's see if raise your hand for a 5 minute break. Oh, you know what? Let's just finish it off. I have a lot of things to do. You want 5 minutes break? Okay, let's if I stop this, I can start it again. I hope so. All right, let's get 5 minutes break because I need to get something warm. My throat is starting to hurt. Okay, and then we will be back at 1:10. Not 5 minutes actually. Let's make it 4 minutes. Okay, we will be back at 1:10. Iman, you have question or you wanted a break? Okay. So let's see how many lonely people are here that they have nothing to do over their weekends and come listen to me. Okay. Give us the profit from selling the product, not the total profit. I know. Okay. Who wrote that? I know what was the problem. Maybe I forgot. It's not the profit, it's the income. So if you make this p.price, then it will give you. Okay, I thought I've changed this, but must have forgotten. That's weird. So what I meant is not the profit actually. I meant this. Now you should get something for everything. Yeah, it's the income. Must have forgotten to change that in the notes. But if you did it the other way, it's okay. You get the grade for it. Okay. So if we run this now, we should get something under each. Oh yeah, because I removed that. Still, I wonder why I did not. Maybe I changed the price, testing something, and then it was
You're
about
asking
that.
us sharing a screen.
I'm not. Okay,
No.
thank you. Bye. Don't tell me the. Oh shit. Where's the- All right. Write anonymous block. Okay, so how do we write anonymous block? $2 declare begin. Is declare necessary? Does it always have to be there? Who knows the answer?
No.
Thank you. If you do not have, it says declare is for initializing and declaring variables. If you do not have any variable if you do not have any variable to be declared or initialized, you do not need declare, okay? So keep that in mind. Okay, and write an anonymous block to update salesman bonus based on his generated income. I need a query to find me the generated income for a salesman. So let's write down the things we need to do. Yeah. So here, query to get income for a salesman. Okay. Salesman. I gave you a hint. Nice. And you guys think I'm not nice. That's not fair. Update, so query to get income for salesman, that's there. And then update the bonus. Where is the bonus? In the salesman table. So I'm gonna put it here. Who knows how to go about this? Basically, you need to say select a star from, because we're updating everyone, no? Salesman. Yeah, select a star from salesman. Okay. And then somewhere here, you update. Okay. This is just the cursor that goes from one salesman to another salesman. Okay. And then we read the cursor here and we do the update. Okay. Now this is our salesman. We need to save it in a cursor. This C cursor for this. And then the moment I create C, I create R. Record. Are we still recording, right? Just to make sure. Okay. Okay. What else? If then we have conditions, but let's just get this one sorted out. So I want to loop through each salesman and update their salary. Okay, so this one comes here. So for this R and this C, loop and loop. Okay, and what I want to do here is I want to say update. For now, I'm ignoring the income. Okay, you could do that when you're solving a question. Yeah, ignore some part of it, just get some of that. Update. What am I updating? Salesman. What am I setting? Set salary equal. Oh, bonus. Sorry. Set bonus equal. Let's put it 0 for all. Huh? Now what? How would I know I'm updating the guy that I'm reading? How do I know I'm updating this person, not somebody else? Now we have explained this in details in the recording, but you use where current of the C. Okay? Sorry, the C. Now, I know that I'm using this cursor to do an update. If I'm using a cursor for an update, I need to come here and say for update. Okay? So, done, almost. Almost. I actually gave the answer away, kind of. Now what I need to do is to get the income for each of those, right? So here I would say, select, how do I get the income generated? That would be the price multiplied by the quantity. And this is for each salesman. So this is SID from products. Do I need the salesman table in this query? Who knows the answer? P join orders are on P dot PID equal to O dot PID group by. Actually, I don't need to do group by. Okay. And I do not need this because I know which ID I want this for. So where SID equal this guy. Any questions on this? That SID, yeah? So I'm just writing a query that gives me the income generated by this person. No? Now, I cannot do this just like that. I need to save this somewhere. And that somewhere is not initialized. So I'm going to initialize it here. Income is, let's say, an integer. You can make it product type, but that's okay. I'm going to select this into the income. Okay. Now to make sure we did everything right, I'm going to comment this, not coding different things. In Python, I do dash dash. In here, I'm doing hash. So let's just raise notice income and SID, okay? This r dot SID. And here I'm gonna just put this, okay? Let's make sure this is working. I know myself running into errors, so orders, not order. I make sure I catch them before it piles up. P.PID equal to orders. I put orders are orders. Oh, okay. There is a null. Okay. Do I tell you about the null? Yeah, I think I told you about the null. Okay, so these are the ones I need to deal with. Any questions before I move on? I told you explicitly selecting two, so this part should not have been difficult. You just write the query to get the income for that person you're reading and then save it into a variable. Okay, now the rest is just if else statement. If, let's start with the null. If income equal null, what am I doing wrong, guys? If you do not know what I'm doing wrong, and if you get that quiz, you get a bad mark. Then it's 0. Then I do the update here. And then the bonus is actually 0. Okay? Is null. Okay? Not equal null. So if this guy, then else if income is below 3,500, then I'm gonna copy this line again. And this time we give him 300. There is one more. else if income is about 70,000, then bonus is 1,000. Under any other conditions, bonus is 500. Okay, I'm gonna do something. Select a star from salesman. Select bonus actually. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. I'm
Miss?
doing this for testing, yes.
Income is less than 35,000, no?
It's the I no my typos, yeah. But if you put 35,000, if it, then it doesn't go to anything actually, because everything is less than 35,000, or it's not. I don't know. Wait, maybe it is 70,000. Ah, okay. No, yeah, 35,000. So I need an extra zero here. Thank you. As income, and then bonus from salesman ordered by. This is just for testing, okay? Income. So let's see where we stand. I now here I do need the group by, okay? SID. I did not need to do that, but now that I did it, I'll complete it. Oh no, this is gonna get confusing. Leave it for now. We'll test it later. I don't want to worry about that. So if this, and then what? Is there anything else in the question? No, pretty much it. So I'm gonna say select, I'm gonna copy this, okay? Paste it here. We need the SID, okay? Into this, and then of course I do not need to raise notice here, and I need a group by here. Group by, we're just gonna pick 3 cases so we can test, okay? Group by SID. We don't need that. Good, I noticed before it gives me error. And I'm gonna order it, so order by income. So we can pick 3 cases that we can double check, okay? Now what? Some. Same issue here, no? Good, we noticed. It's a group by an aggregate function, so we need to do a sum. Okay, so income, descending. So let's pick 3 and then test it later, okay? So 888 should be what? Should be 1,000. Then 444 should be, can somebody write that down? 888 should be 1,000. 444 should be 300. I think 666 should be null. Yeah, because it's not even here, okay? And so 666 should be 0, and anybody else should be any number, okay? So we're gonna test with 888, 444, and then maybe this guy, 555, okay? So we're gonna write that query later, but now let's just run this. What happened? So I'm gonna comment this because I just needed to test something. Do I have a raise notice somewhere? Shit. Okay, that's fine. Oh, this is my trigger. Okay, sorry, alter table. I'm thinking, what's happening? I'm not writing those anywhere. And it does not allow me to raise a specific amount. So what's my table? Salesman, alter table, salesman. I don't even know. Disable all. Yeah, let's do that. If we do select SID bonus, nothing should be changed. You kind of get an answer for the trigger questions of the next lab. SID bonus from salesman. Let's see if it got increased. Okay, it got added already. Okay, 6 is 0. And then 444, 888, correct. So it worked, okay? That's how you test it. Now you know how to disable. I am gonna remove this completely because that's not even in the scope of this. Okay, these are only for testing. So I'm gonna put it there. Any questions? Yes, no? Questions are easy. I mean, believe me when I tell you it's not difficult. It's because if you just split them into parts and start doing it a bit by bit, making sure everything working before you move on to the next one. I lost my voice. Then it shouldn't be difficult. Now, next question is a little tricky because you need to think out of the box for that, okay? Again, you could come up with different answers, but this is the way I solved it. Okay, we have half an hour more and one question left, which is very good. We are doing very well, actually. You guys are not asking me any question, which is surprising because I'm assuming that you guys are here virtually, but not here physically. Write an anonymous block to get total expenditure by each customer. Again, we're gonna do it by part by part, okay? Keep in mind that multiple customer could have the highest expenditure. Why do I mention this? Because you might think you're gonna just do order by and get the first row. No? A lot of students think that way. That's why I put this, that getting the first row doesn't mean that's the only customer. Maybe the second row is also a customer with the highest. But this hint, this little talk is giving you a hint on how to go about it. Do, declare, begin, and end, okay? And dollar, okay. Get a total expenditure by customer. And I'm telling you, don't make it complicated, just use the order. How do I do that? Select. Again, it would be the same thing, no? Sum of price multiplied by cost. Multiply by price, sorry. And then I need the customer ID from products key, orders. Oh, sorry.
Multiply by quantity.
Thank you. Yeah. So there is one person at least. I'm not a lonely person talking to myself. Good to know. Okay. And then again, I'm not telling you how to write a query, okay? That's not for explanation anymore. Group by CID, okay? Now I need to do something here, okay? Because I want things, people with the highest. The best way to do this is to keep this in mind when I'm writing this query. Since I want the highest, I have to order it. So I get the top ones first. I get the highest either at the top or at the bottom. Okay? I'll show you what I mean. Let's not do this. Let's just do that and run the query and you see what I mean. Okay? That makes more sense maybe. I'm gonna save it as expenditure. Okay? Now this is not sorted, right? What I want is to get the highest, either on the top or at the bottom, whichever you want, that's up to you, okay? So order by, I want it at the top, so I'm gonna say order by descending. I think we have only one customer, but we assume that we don't know. Okay, so if you assume that you do know, you will not get.
Also, order by, you
He's
have to
not
specify the name,
selecting the whole thing.
expenditure, order by expenditure descending.
Order by in exp. Why did I spell it like that? Exp nd. Somebody remind me of the spelling of this thing. Okay. Assume that this is also that. I'm gonna change it. I cannot change it unless I save it, and that is for the function. Okay. Let's assume we don't know it's only one. Now we do know, but it's okay. Okay. So now this query, I need to write it into a cursor. So the C is a cursor for this guy. I need to immediately say this R. Is the record. Now I'm gonna do a typical loop. Okay, that is for this R in this C loop and loop. Okay, I do know this. I'm doing this because I do know my top rows are the highest ones, right? If you do it the other way around, that is the bottom ones, right? Then you have to use open fetch, yeah? So, but for now, to make my life easy, I made the highest one at the top, so I know I can just loop. So for this R and this, what I need to do is, am I writing a message? Keep, get the total by each customer. For all customer with the highest expenditure, at prints this. Full detail of a customer with the most expenditure. So I need to say, I need to get the full detail of the customer. And how do I do that, guys? Let's just actually remove that and say star customer. Okay. You can make a cursor for that, but I'm gonna make my life easy. So I want to say, I'm gonna keep it simple, notice, and this r.cid, this r.company, this r.sector. Okay, and how many of those I have? 3. Okay, here I'm just printing them, okay? And then we will modify that. Let's just make sure. Now, I don't want all of them. I want the one, yeah, with the highest expenditure. How can I do that? How can I find out what is the highest expenditure? The way I did that is open this C, okay, close this C, and then here I will get the highest expenditure, which is which one? The first row. I know for sure that the first row is the highest expenditure. I might have the second, third, and the fourth as well. I don't know yet, but I know the first one is definitely the highest. Why? Because I ordered it, right? So if you guys solved it in a better way, let me know. So I'm gonna create another record. Actually, yeah, that's okay. This max or this highest is a record. Okay. And I'm gonna say fetch first from this C into this max. Okay. And here I'm gonna do a basic raise notice just to see if we're getting the max. Okay. So this, and then here we say this max dot, what did I call my column? Expendi, right? Yeah. So this is the expenditure I need to check. So while I am here, what I need to do is, okay, let me see. I need all the customers that are here only. So I'm not sure if this is how I've done it earlier, but this customer is a record. Okay, it's actually customer dot row type. Okay, so what I want to do is go back, loop this guy, okay, and say if this R dot expnd equal to this max dot expnd, then do this. Okay, but do what? We'll come back to it. And if I'm not sure if that's how I solved it, but this should solve it too. Okay, so if this one is equal to this, let's just say this R dot CID for now. Okay, and this R dot expnd. Yeah, so we get all the customers that have the maximum expenditure. So the maximum expenditure is this, and there was only one of them. So let's see who was it. If I have any mistake, this cost, what was that? Too few parameters. I need only two. This R in select from, what is this? Shame on me. Okay, so this is the maximum and this is the only customer. What we need to do now is to get his full details and then print it, no? So again, I don't know if I did it this way, but this would work too. I'm sure I've done it easier than this. So what we need to do is select a star from customer, select a star into this customer. Yeah, and then we print this customer only, not that customer. Yeah, I remember what's the easier way to do now, but it's okay. There is an easier way to do it. You loop, that's why I started looping the customer first, but that's okay, leave it. You join it with that. It's okay. So this customer, that's the ID, and then this customer, as long as it works, it doesn't matter. This customer dot company, and then we want this customer dot sector. And then here I add my percentage as well. I still need to, no, that's fine. And else, what you could do if you want to make it more efficient, you can say, you want to make it more efficient? We have time to, I can show you how to make it more efficient, but let's make this work. So was it the 301? And then to make sure, let's just print the expenditure as well. This R.expnd. And then I add one more, just to make sure. Yeah, I don't want to give you wrong answers. Okay. Now, once we finish, you may want to exit, right? Because once it's not equal, you want to end it. So else, you could say exit. This is only for performance, okay? So you don't read after you finish. So the moment the expenditure is changing, it's not the highest anymore, so you exit the loop. You don't read the other 10,000 rows anymore, okay? This could be a question, and no, I don't know, I don't think I will do PGSQL performance tuning. I will just stick to the other one. Shall I do it again? I don't know if I can do it again. Shall I do it again, or was it clear what I did? I can do it again, that's fine. What B price minus P cost? That I will tell who is your instructor. I'll ask him to accept that. Yeah, is because when I was coding, I forgot I have discounts, so I didn't include it. But if they're looking at the, let me end this recording. Stop recording.